All right, we are live with American Dream Plan B by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Another day of drum practice. As soon as I get this to do the right thing. All right, it's ignoring me. Day two, kind of fine tuning it. Full speed's 129. Just going to be jumping in. Text me. Message if you have any questions about what I'm working on. And that says it looks like both streams are running. All right, a little bit of a slow start. One more time. All right, let's speed that up to 90. All right. 100. I ran through this for like a hot second before I started my live, and I couldn't play it. I was just like, what the heck? Just feels good that slowed down to 80, kind of moving it back up. All right, let's get 110. Just moving our way up slowly but surely. Got to get that left foot under control. That wasn't helping. And then, yeah, open hi-hats. Like when I teach students this, we have a tendency to rush. Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. We have a tendency to rush that downbeat. So just something I have to watch out for too. All right, let's slow this down to 80. Watch these 3 kicks in a row, open hi-hat, and not rushing into the next measure. Vlad's, thanks, my guy. So I'm going to do a couple where I just do kicks in this beat to try to, I don't know, clean it up. All right. 4. So you just tell I'm a little sloppy on that. Left foot. All right, let's see if we can do that with metronome and keep it clean. Feeling good. Let's do 90. All right, let's see if we fall apart at 100. So 90 was my top score from the other day, which is, nice. Keep track. I think 90 was a little sloppy if I remember correctly, so. Good. 100 feels good. Let's see what else is going on. So we got this little 16th note idea. I have to remember. Yeah, I'm doing right left on that. Let's jump into that at 100. Feeling good. Feeling warmed up now. Got to make sure I'm not late on that one after those 16th notes. There we go. All right, let's go 110. Just even there, you can hear me wanting to speed up those hi-hats. Amar, thank you for the compliment, my guy. I'm really bad at taking compliments, but thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you. Amar, I've been working on this. Dude, I'm 42. I've been working my ass off a metronome and have had days where it's just like, what is a fucking metronome? And then, like, literally last week, I feel like, even maybe Sunday, I had a little bit of a metronome breakthrough. It's all about forcing. Learning how to love the metronome would be a great series to talk about. Because I fucking hated that thing forever. And I refused to practice with it. It was just unwise. So thank you. Appreciate that compliment a ton. And the thing that happens, though, you always level up your ear, though. So you just gave me a great compliment of keeping such a great time with the tempo. I hear now from all this ear training with metronome, slight variances in time. And that's why I kind of get obsessive and just, I'll play a section for 4 or 5 minutes because I'm just trying to get every limb, every appendage, which is redundant, but to line up, to coalesce. All right, let's move on. So we got this little. I did practice that drum fill before. Fill is relative, right? Little break. We'll hit the chorus and then we'll do that. Add that drum fill to it. Let's go back to 100. I don't remember this, so let's just do 4 measures and 4 measures. But we got 1, 2, 3. That's fucking fun to play. Bro, and here's the great thing. It's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I was working on the guitar part. I was working on the bass part. It's a simple idea, but they execute it so fucking well. So drums don't need to be complicated and terrible and hard. They can be cool and straightforward and accent what needs to happen in the song. Oh, hi-hat's loose. Amir, I'm guessing it's Amir now that I can read. Do you play drums? Do you play an instrument? Ice Bro, what styles do you like? What bands do you like? I'm a big fan of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's always fun to do these videos. All right, 110. I guess we should learn the second half, but we'll learn the second half in a bit, or relearn. Oh hell yeah! That's above my pay grade. I was listening to a bunch of Beatles. I'm going to talk with the metronome, so I don't have to stop it. But I was listening to a bunch of Beatles last night. I try to like rotate the bands I love and listen to all their albums. Bro, Ringo's drumming's just. I know everyone says either he's terrible or he's the best, but Jesus fucking Christ, that's good shit. Excuse the language. Let's do the second half. All right, so we have that little kick stop in there. Dude, Ringo, here's my goal. My next 6 months to year plan. Work on, like, this is, Steve Ferrone played drums on this song. Phenomenal drummer. Listen to this song. He's so freaking tight on everything. Do a bunch of songs like this in the next three months to 6 months, and then try to like really start breaking down like Beatles stuff. Because we write tons of Beatles sheets, and I look at that shit, the dynamics, the backwards drum fills sometimes, the uses of sixlets, and all that stuff. Like I want to progress to be able to play that kind of stuff is kind of my ambition the next little bit. All right, let's run through this, man. 1, 2, 3. Like that, but the tendency to be late on those eighth notes. There we go. Thank you, my guy. I really, really appreciate that. I really do. Not right there. Dude, it happens, and it happens less the more you practice. All right, let's put that whole chorus together, guys. We'll just put a recovery measure. Why not two? Sometimes still rushing that eighth note there, so, but pretty happy with that. All right, we're going to go back to the top. There's not really that much else in the song, but I feel like in 15 minutes I can probably get those sections really close to, I guess there's that little fill, but we'll worry about that later. So let's go to 115. Let's try to smooth these out. Full speed. Like if I had to predict, it's going to be a tiny bit sloppy. I've been wrong before, though. Now, this is where I still have to work on my hand technique and my foot technique. They both need some love. So, like, as I do these, you know, I'm trying to spend at least 15 minutes or 10 minutes a day on practice pad because I'm hitting the top of my speed at 129 on eighth notes with you know, consistent. So you can feel like I'm bringing a little bit of strain, and I want to make sure I'm not doing that. And I didn't feel that strain at 80. So, you know, go back to the practice pad, work on that shit. I'm going to call that a win. We can call that 129. Let's do halfway on this guy. And here's the thing. Evaluating your practice is one of the hardest frickin' things to do. I'm aiming every day for a 1% gain. Now, what's tough is I do drums today. Tomorrow will be guitar. The next day will be bass. So you can still get that 1% gain as long as you're practicing it, you know, when you're not doing lives or whatever you guys are doing. So aiming for 1% is the evaluation. 129 sloppy today doesn't matter to me because 129 will probably be a bit crisper, a little cleaner tomorrow. And then I'll push to like 134, bring it back down to 129, and rinse and repeat. So embrace the sloppy because you got to break through that to get better. The caveat is you can't live in sloppy forever, right? Like, I have plenty of students that's like, well, I'll just play it bad forever. And I'm like, well, no, you need to slow it back down and actually learn what you're playing. Then speed it up. You hear that last kick is weak. That's what I want. I think the last one I nailed that downbeat of the one. Other times I can't promise that I did. All right, full speed. The other nice thing, I'm just going to say what I always say. Working on these three sections at that slow tempo, working it up, maybe 100, 100, 100, right? is way better than spending all your time on that first one and trying to get it up to 129. Give your brain a little time to soak in that information. Go back to it. You can see, like, I couldn't play this at 129 right when I jumped in, but now it's easy for me. Well, not 129. 115 was easy for me. Relatively. Can't say I played it perfect, but. One, two, three, and four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. A little sloppy, but I love the fucking idea of it. One, two, three, and four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now, I screwed up, but those kicks were tight as shit just because I spent time going. Could be a little cleaner, but I call the 129 at full speed. So the next drum live I do, I'm going to do one more like this, but start at 129 and try to push these to 139. 10 over usually means that when I drop it back to regular tempo, full speed, whatever you want to call it, it's easier for me to play. So I want that 10 over, come back down, it's more relaxed. Thanks, Amir. Here's my other piece of advice. It's that separation. That separation is the money. Talked about it with the kick idea. Bring it to these hi-hats where you're just going. Everything else can be that jello that fits in between that. If you can own that hi-hat, you can almost forget about your other appendages. Almost. All right, 129. Yeah, this one's playing better than I thought, Amir. Those 16th notes sometimes trip me up. But you heard me rush that first couple of times. I wasn't grooving with it right. Yeah, you gotta have all your appendages before you leave. I've done that before. I've left without one or two, and it was a big freaking mistake. Everyone's looking at me weird. Almost out of time. I want to hit that chorus because it's fun as shit. That one could use a little bit of work at 129. I don't think I've nailed that by any means. But again, using this metronome as our scoreboard, like we're fucking winning the race. And it's nice to have that test. It's nice to have that marker on the wall. You know, we measured heights when we were kids. It's nice to know, like, hey, tomorrow I've played this at 120. Well, I'm about to play this at 120, and I've done it. So I like one. I have confidence that I've already done this once. Two, I have a goal to hit, and then three, I have a goal to go surpass. That's just rambling at that point, but you guys get what I'm saying. Bro, I wish. So, Amir, do me a big favor. When you get a chance, no rush, no rush. Look at my band, Lamech, Higher Ground. That guy is, there's a music video on YouTube. That guy's a phenomenal drummer. He's my best friend. One of my best friends. More than one. His name is Zach. This guy, like, I don't even hold a flame to his candle or a candle to his flame. I don't know what the saying is. But okay, so I've been playing since I was 16, and if I would have learned the right methodology of practice, which I've kind of developed on my own, I've taken like a handful of lessons, and I've gone to college for a bit for music. Didn't really sink in. I was kind of dumb. So I kind of like wandered through the wilderness for a long frickin' time. So I've taught drums. You know it, my guy. Zaman has entered the chat. Zach is a beast. Love that guy to death. I spent a lot of time in the wilderness. Like I taught drums before I knew really what I was doing. There was always a drum set around. I was in a band in high school. But I would say for the last, I don't know, I've taught drums for 10 years now, but not, young kids that you could be learning it as you go. So I would develop some skills, but I didn't really take it serious for the last, 3 years. And that's kind of where I finally all right, sold my music business, sold my studio, and just wanted to focus on practicing and leveling up my game. So that's my story. So yes, have not been playing drums that long, but also a long time. But I would say the last 2 years really trying to develop a skill. And dude, look how far, like if you go back to my first video, which I think the first live drums was probably 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Dude, teaching is great. It's knowing how to teach it. And one thing I'm doing right now is I'm taking some really good books. There's a good drum one. If you want to know about it, I'll find out what the title is. And a good guitar one, and I'm actually really pushing the students. I used to be here's a song, and there's good ideas from that all, but there's some theory stuff that you're always lacking. So that's one thing I've been doing with my teaching. So that kind of pushes me to learn more too. I think teachers can be lazy. Xander, I'm sure it does. Those are good freaking days, my guy. Don't miss it, but those are good days. Oh, iPads and scrolling while you're playing. You had an advantage by being an open-handed drummer. All right, full speed for this, then we're going to call it. a little tighter. Good enough. One thing that I should do tomorrow or the next day I do drums is slow this measure down. Just really get those kicks in line. All right, Amir, great talking with you. Great chatting. Xander, good to see you. Good to hear you.